Hello everybody. This lecture will be based on logarithmic and anti-logarithmic amplifier using op-amp. So we were during the last few lectures we have discussed about the different applications of op-amp. So this is another application of op-amp, logarithmic or log and anti-logarithmic or anti-log amplifier. Now in this application we will see what should be the use of using op-amp as such. But before that, let us see, suppose this is an amplifier having gain A. We are applying an input V in at its input, and from at the output it is denoted by VO. Now if it is a log amplifier, then VO should be A times, that means the gain times log of the input quantity, that is V in. So if it happens to be so, output is expressed in this fashion, so this amplifier will then be called log amplifier or logarithmic amplifier. On the contrary, if this particular amplifier having gain A is applied with an input V in and it is giving an output VO, if this VO is written as A times, that is the gain times log inverse of V in, or other words A times anti-log, which is nothing but log inverse of V in, or if it is written as, expressed as A e to the power V in whatever forms, then this amplifier will be called anti-log amplifier. Therefore, an anti-log amplifier is such where the input V in is converted to VO and the VO is expressed as anti-log of V in or log inverse of V in, or A e to the power V in, where A is the gain of the amplifier. So this is the basic representation or the basic block diagram of log and anti-log amplifier. Now what are the different applications of this particular type of use of by the op-amp? Let us see all those. This logarithmic and anti-logarithmic amplifiers are mainly used for mathematical operations like multiplication, division and exponentiation. So these are some of the mathematical operations which can be made useful or which can be done with the help of log and anti-log amplifier. So these are some of the special applications which we can do with the use of op-amp as a log and anti-log amplifier. And by the way of doing this, we can say that the log and anti-log amplifier can be used for analog computers. For analog computers, these type of applications by the op-amp can be seen for analog computers use. The second point of application is to calculate the dB value of a quantity. dB means decibel. dB value of a quantity. Now you can see from the basic block diagram of log amplifier, here it is seen that the log of V in multiplied by gain is the output. So therefore, if we consider gain A as unity, then VO can be written as log of V in. That means for a quantity like V in, if we take log of it, that should be the output, that should be a new expression, and we know that 20 log base 10 of any quantity x, or in some ways it is 10 log 10 of any quantity x, will give us the dB value of x, quantity x. So therefore we can say, if this is so, if we are taking log to the base 10, that means common logarithm of any quantity will give us the dB value multiplied by 10 or 20. So similarly here, any quantity represented as V in, and we are taking the log of it multiplied by a constant, should be giving a dB value. That means this VO is expressed in decibel units. So this is another way we can say the application of op amp as logarithmic or anti-logarithmic amplifier, especially logarithmic amplifier. We can say that it is used to calculate dB value of a quantity. For the next application, we can see that it is used as a true RMS converter. It is used as true RMS converter. That means the logarithmic or anti-logarithmic amplifier especially can be used as a true RMS converter. Now what is that? Suppose we are having V in expressed as half log A prime, suppose, where A prime is any quantity. So this is my input signal, half log A prime. Now suppose we are having output of an anti-log amplifier is expressed as VO A to the power A into E to the power V in. So this is for anti-log amplifier. Now suppose this A is taken as 1. So therefore VO is E to the power V in. Now if my V in is half log A prime, so we can write VO equal to E to the power half log A prime in this fashion. So this can be expressed as A prime to the power half, this VO. If it is expressed in this fashion, VO equal to E to the power half log A prime, then VO can be seen, it is nothing but A prime to the power half. So by doing different steps, I am not going into the elaborate steps, but by doing different steps, from here we can express VO as A prime to the power half. It means it is the square root of A prime. That means the output can be expressed as a square root of a particular quantity with which the log is being applied as the input multiplied by a constant half. So whatever be the constant of multiplication will go to the power of that particular quantity. That means if it is half log A prime, that means final expression is A prime to the power half. So by way of doing this, we can say we can find up to the nth root of a particular quantity, suppose that is A prime. So in this way, since root mean square, RMS is root mean square, that means it is the square root mean and square. Root, mean and square. Square of a quantity, mean of a quantity and root of a quantity. So that means by way of using this anti-log amplifier, we can see that it is used as a true RMS converter. That means by the use of it, from its expression of output like E to the power V in, from here we can say that this anti-log amplifier provides an output which can be expressed in this fashion, and from where we can find the square root of any quantity. So that's why we can correlate that with an RMS conversion criteria. So therefore it can be used as a true RMS converter. Number 4 is to extend dynamic range of various circuits. We can use log and anti-log amplifier, especially some digital converters. So this is the another way of using the log and anti-log amplifier to extend the dynamic range of various circuits. So these are some of the major applications where we can use log and anti-log amplifier with the help of op-amp. Now for design of such amplifiers, log or anti-log, we need some high performance ICs. High performance op-amp ICs are used to construct log or anti-log amplifiers. The names of some of those ICs are LM1458, LM771, LM714, etc. So these are some of high performance op-amp IC with which we can easily construct the logarithmic and anti-logarithmic amplifier. Now a log or anti-log amplifier can be explained or can be constructed with the help of diodes, simple ordinary PN junction diodes, or transistors. In this lecture, I will be discussing with you about construction of log and anti-log amplifiers using diodes only, and in the next lecture I will be showing you the construction of log and anti-log amplifiers with help of transistors or BJTs, to be very specific. So let us see now using the diodes how the construction of log amplifier or configuration of log amplifier can be done. Configuration of log amplifier using diodes. Configuration of log amplifier using diodes. Now this is the basic circuit. We are taking an op-amp which is working in inverting mode. That's why we are making non-inverting terminal to be at ground. At the inverting terminal, through a resistance R, we are applying the input as Vin. Now from the inverting terminal, instead of using a resistor in the feedback path, we are using a normal diode, ordinary diode, to construct the feedback path or complete the loop. Now this is output VO and this diode is denoted by D, and here we are completing the diagram as such, like this. So now we can see that this is the basic construction, very simple construction of log amplifier using ordinary diode in the feedback path. Now suppose current I is flowing through flowing from Vin into the op-amp, and from the concept of virtual ground, since it is working in inverting mode and non-inverting terminal is grounded, that means this node, suppose this is named as G, this G will be having at a voltage, will be providing a voltage Vg which is equal to 0 volt by the concept of virtual ground. As because the op-amp, the open loop op-amp is having a very high gain, so and also we are having the non-inverting terminal connected directly to ground, so from the concept of virtual ground, due to these two reasons, the voltage at this node G is approximately 0 volt. So therefore the current from Vin will be flown into the node G is the incoming current, and we can write the expression for incoming current I is equal to Vin minus 0 by R, where the 0 is nothing but the voltage at node G, which is Vg approximately 0. So therefore Vin minus 0 by R is I by Ohm's law. Ohm's law again, and give this equation number as 1. This is equation number 1. Again, once again, we can see that in the other path, that is this current which is incoming to this node G can only go through this path, through this diode D, that means which can take this path only through diode D to reach at the output, because from this node there are two paths, one is going into the op amp and another is going through this feedback path. Now since the op amp is having very high input resistance, you know there should not be any appreciable current that is going into the op amp other than some offset conditions. So we can say this whole current I, or the major portion of the current I, will take this path through the diode D, that is the closed loop path or the feedback path, to reach at the output terminal VO. So this is also my current I. So in other words, we can say, we can write this I as using the diode equation or the Shockley's equation. So that is Is exponential function, that is e to the power E V, where this V is nothing but the diode voltage, the voltage across the diode. Suppose that voltage is denoted by Vd. So this is EVD divided by eta kT minus 1. So this expression, you know, this is called diode equation or Shockley's equation. This is very familiar to you from your study of the diodes, and we can see from here that this E is nothing but electronic charge in Coulomb. This Vd is nothing but the only variable in this expression, which is the diode voltage, voltage across the diode, voltage across the forward conducting diode. We should be using this term because this current is flowing from this anode side to cathode side and the diode is forward biased. That means it is in conducting mode. So the forward conducting diode will be producing a voltage drop across it, which is denoted by Vd. This eta is called ideality factor, which means, you know what is ideality factor? It shows the value of this, shows how this diode resembles to work as an ideal diode. That means the behavior, how it shows this, the value of ideality factor shows how the behavior, or how close the behavior of this particular diode with an ideal diode, how much it resembles with the operation of an ideal diode. If it is ideal diode, eta is 1 for ideal cases, and for eta equal to 1 to 2, eta may lie between 1 to 2 for practical cases. So therefore this is ideality factor, and K is Boltzmann constant, you know, it is having a particular value, Boltzmann's constant, 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23 joules per Kelvin, and T is absolute room temperature in Kelvin, in K. So this is the diode equation, very familiar to you. You know this equation, or Shockley's equation we should say, and this is the expression of current which is flowing from this node G into the output terminal through the diode along this feedback path. So therefore now we can see that this Vd is actually, from the diagram, from the circuit diagram, this Vd is Vg, which is the voltage for this node G, minus voltage at the output node, which is VO. Now since Vg is 0, that means 0 minus VO, so this is minus VO. So if we now substitute this minus VO in this expression, this equation will become I equal to Is exponential E minus EVO divided by eta kT minus 1. Now put this, the number of this equation as 2. So this is equation 2 and this is equation 1. one thing I should say, what is IS here? IS is reverse saturation current. You know, when the diode is reverse biased, a leakage current or a reverse saturation current flows through it when it is working in non-conducting mode at the reverse bias, and this reverse saturation current is a very minor current. The range of reverse saturation current is very less as compared to the forward current, in the range of microamperes or maybe something less than that also in some cases. And this reverse saturation current at room temperature, while we are using with this equation, this reverse saturation current should be considered at room temperature. So therefore these two are the equations here we can derive from this particular circuit. Now here this second equation, we can apply some approximation in this equation, and that the approximation is because since the diode is conducting heavily in forward bias condition, we may neglect this quantity 1 with respect to this exponential function. So for heavy forward conducting condition of diode, we neglect 1 with respect to exp function, means exponential function. Okay, so this equation will become I equal to Is exp minus E VO divided by eta kt. This is the expression. Now let us once again refer to the diagram. At this node, I have already told you, at the node G, the current incoming is given by equation number 1 and current outgoing is given by equation number 2. By applying KCL, since no current is going inside the op amp, therefore by applying KCL at node G, we can say that these two currents are equal. So we can equate the two equations given by 1 and 2. So this is equation number 2a, suppose, which is modified. Now equating, applying KCL at node G, we may write, that is equating equation 1 and 2a, we may write, one was V in divided by R. V in by R is given by Is exp minus EVO by eta kt. In this way we can write like this. Now take Is to the other side. V in by Is into R exponential minus EVO by eta kt. Now if we take natural logarithm of both sides, taking natural log at both sides of this equation, we may find log of base e to the power, exponential means e to the power, so exponential minus EV0 by eta kt, that is equal to log base e V in by Is into R. Now here you know that log base e of E is nothing but, we should write it as ln. Log base E is ln, so ln exponential minus EV0 by eta kt is equal to ln V in by ISR. In this way we can write. Now what is ln e to the power e? That means this will be 1. We know since ln e is equal to 1, so therefore minus EVO by eta kt is equal to ln V in by Is into R. So from here, what is VO? This is minus eta kt minus eta kt by E ln V in by Is into R. So this is the final expression between the output and the input of this log amplifier. So we can say that output is logarithm of input multiplied by a constant, that is eta kt by E. This eta kt by E, where this eta kt by E is a constant. So a constant multiplied by log of input. So that's why we can say the output is constant multiplied by log of input. So it is the expression or the transfer curve or the transfer expression for logarithmic amplifier. So what we should say, this is the transfer equation for logarithmic transfer equation for log amplifier. Now this Vin is divided by Is into R. These things are also constant. So in whatever way we can say that in this equation the two terms are variables. One is VO and another is Vin. So VO will vary log of Vin. Therefore, this is nothing but the expression, output expression of logarithmic amplifier. So this other words, it is called transfer equation of logarithmic amplifier. Therefore output is log of the input. This negative sign denotes the operation of amplifier in inverting mode for giving us the logarithm of the input to be expressed as its output. And why we have taken this natural log at both sides of this equation? Because this is basically an exponential form of equation and we should be converting it into a linear form, and to convert it into a linear form we are taking natural logarithm at both sides of this equation. So this is all about the discussion of log amplifier using diode. Now let us move on to discuss about anti-log amplifier using op-amp. Anti-log amplifier using op-amp with diodes. With diode, the circuit is very simple for anti-log amplifier. It is just the little bit reversed in position of the resistance and the diodes. Obviously, as before, we are taking the op-amp to be working in inverting mode. This is output VO. Non-inverting terminal is as usual grounded, and at the inverting terminal the Vin is as usual applied, but it is through a diode D. Previously it was the resistance R. In this case the resistance which was connected here in the previous circuit, that is the log amplifier, is now connected in the feedback path in this fashion. So this is R. So what we are seeing, what is the difference between log and anti-log amplifier? The positions of the diode and the resistance have been changed. The diode from the feedback path come up here, and the resistance from the position of inverting input terminal has gone into the feedback path. So this is the circuit for anti-log amplifier, and this node is as usual termed as G, whose voltage Vg approximately 0 because of virtual ground concept. Similar to the previous case, because of high open loop gain of op-amp, and since non-inverting terminal is connected directly to ground. So therefore once again we should apply KCL at node G, that will equate the two currents. One is flowing from V into the node G, this I, making the diode forward biased and conducting heavily in the forward condition, and the same current will flow through this feedback path reaching up to the output. And so and this will do because there will be no current going into the op amp other than some offset conditions, so because of its high input resistance. So therefore by KCL, once again, by KCL at G, node G, we may write two equations again. So for first equation, it is current I flowing through the diode, which is IS exponential E. The voltage across the diode is, obviously we have considered previously also, it is VD. So this is EVD by eta KT minus 1. So now when the diode is conducting heavily, it is approximated IS EXP EVD by eta KT. Likewise, we have done in the earlier case, IS EXP EVD by eta KT. We have neglected one with respect to the exponential function. Now what is VD? Where VD equal to V in minus VG, that is V in minus 0, so that is V in. So here this equation we can write alternately, I equal to IS EXP EV in divided by eta KT. So this is my equation number 1. And what is equation number 2? It is by Ohm's law. We may write that I equal to Vg minus Vo divided by R. So this is 0 minus Vo by R, that is minus Vo by R. So if we now equate the two equations by, and this is equation number 2. So now equate equation 2 and equation 1. So by equating 1 and 2, what we should get? Minus Vo by R is equal to IS EXP EV in IS EXP EV in divided by eta KT. This way we can write, or what is Vo? Minus IS into R EXP EV in by eta KT. In other way around, we should be writing it as Vo by ISR, IS into R with a minus in front, is equal to exponential function of EV in by eta KT. Now this can be idealized with or emulated with the expression of, suppose log of base A of B is given by C. We are having, suppose, this expression from your basic mathematics, from the knowledge of your basic mathematics on logs and theory of indices. If we have such an expression, this can be written as A to the power C is equal to B. So this is by the theory of indices, we can see that we can write this as, if in terms of log, if we write log of B to the base A is equal to C, then by the theory of indices, considering anti-log of these values in some way, this is expression is the antilog of this expression or log inverse of this expression, this can be written as a to the power c is equal to b. So considering this thing, this basic knowledge of mathematics, we should be applying over here to find this expression. So let us now from here, this is having an exponential expression. So now if we want to find the transfer equation of anti-log amplifier, or rather we can say to convert this exponential expression to a linear form, we should be taking once again natural logarithm at both sides. Natural log at both sides. So what we should get, obviously natural log means it is ln minus VO by ISR is equal to ln exponential E V in by eta kt. So this is the way of writing this equation after taking the natural logarithm at both sides. Now obviously this ln of exponential ln of E, this form is equal to 1. So therefore from here we can write, or this ln minus VO by ISR, IS into R is equal to E V in by eta kt. So if we want VO to be found in case of anti-log amplifier, that means this VO should be taken out from this expression of log or of natural logarithm, so that we can finally express VO in terms of V in. So what we should do here now, taking anti-logarithm at both sides of this equation, or rather we can alternately say taking log inverse or log inverse at both sides, whatever. So what it should be, if anti-log of log, that means it will cancel out, so it will be only minus VO by IS into R, that is equal to anti-log of this expression in the right hand side, EV in by eta kt, or we may write it as log inverse also, or log inverse of this expression. So therefore VO is given by minus IS into R anti-log EV in by eta kt. So this is nothing but the output transfer equation of anti-log amplifier, or the output expression of anti-log amplifier. So from here what we can see, that it is some constant times IS into R, anti-log of the output is some constant into anti-log of input voltage V in. So that's why it is called anti-log amplifier, and this minus sign indicates that the amplifier or the op-amp is working in inverting mode of condition. So therefore if we now finally sum up what we have learned for log and anti-log amplifier, we have seen for log amplifier output voltage VO is proportional to log of V in, the input voltage, with some constant over here multiplied by suppose A and a negative sign in front because of inverting mode of operation. And for anti-log amplifier we have seen just now that the output voltage is proportional to negative because of inverting mode of operation into some constant of anti-log of input voltage V in. Okay, because we have seen over here it is anti-log of input voltage V in with some constant associated with V in and multiplied by the gain of the op-amp and minus sign in front because of inverting mode. So therefore in this way we can sum up or summarize the operation of log and anti-log amplifier using op-amps along with its diode configuration. In the next lecture we will be seeing the same thing the operation of log and anti-log amplifier using BJT in its configuration. Thank you.